My name is Adam Penning. I'm the Charity Director of Room to Reward and started our journey back in 2015. I must start by saying a huge thank you to Simon Numford, Managing Director of AA Hospitality, for sponsoring the making of this short video. We are a very small charity and we'd be unable to fund this fantastic opportunity on our own. Room to Reward is all about putting unsold rooms to good use and using them as an opportunity to say thank you to incredible volunteers. For some more information on how we partner with voluntary organisations, I'd like to hand you over to my colleague Joe.
Hello, my name is Joe. I am the Operations Director here at the charity, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to go over some bits of the registration process and how Room to Reward works. Firstly, I'd just like to go over who Room to Reward is for, and it's very simple. Room to Reward is for any organisation that relies on volunteers to do what they do and help people and places in need. Whether you are a registered charity, a community group, a grassroots sports club, or any other form of voluntary organisation, as long as you have volunteers within your group that help you do what you do, you are absolutely welcome to join as a partner of ours and give some time back to those wonderful volunteers. As an organisation, we are religiously neutral, so for any faith-based organisations interested in joining us, you're absolutely welcome to, but what I would say is that your nominations have to be for things outside of the religious element of what you do. So things like supportive coffee mornings for vulnerable and isolated people or youth clubs, as opposed to things like missionary work. So what is Room to Reward? Well, Room to Reward was founded in 2015 with the simple idea of putting unsold rooms to good use. Every hotel knows when their busiest times of year are going to be, but the other side of that coin is they can reasonably anticipate when occupancy isn't going to be as high, they're likely to have some empty rooms. And rather than let those rooms go to waste, why not put them to good use and use them as an opportunity to create memorable experiences and give a bit of recognition to people who deserve a bit of a thank you. Now obviously, if you're watching this video, you don't need me to tell you how important volunteers are, but that was the deserving group that Room to Reward was set up to recognise in this way. As well as a great number of hotels, we have a fantastic variety. From the absolute top end, 5-star, extravagantly luxurious places, a lot of big commercial groups, to boutique, independent properties, holiday parks and family-run B&Bs, which is fantastic for us because obviously the more we have, the more breaks we can do and the more options we can give people. The way it works for our charity and voluntary group partners is very simple. You're given a set number of nominations you can make per year, which is based on the number of volunteers that you have. That is something that we try and be as generous and flexible as we can with, but at the same time, we're always walking a tightrope and finding the right balance between, firstly, making sure that everybody we work with has the opportunity to nominate their volunteers. Secondly, that the demand on the hotels is very manageable from a business perspective. And also ultimately that everyone nominated for a Room to Reward break has a good choice of hotels to choose from. Those nominations start at 2 a year for the very small groups and go up to a maximum of 8 to 10 for the big national charities. The nomination allowance window runs from January through to December, and then every January that number will reset. So however many you're given to start with, come the start of the next year, that will reset and you can put another bunch of nominations in. It's an ongoing developing partnership. The nomination process is very straightforward. Once you're fully signed up as a partner, you will be given login details which will take you to the back-end part of our website where we have the nomination database. There we just ask for the name of the volunteer you want to put forward and then the nomination statement, which is a free text box and your opportunity to tell us why you want to nominate this particular volunteer. So what their role is, how long they've been doing it for, what their impact has been, times they've gone the extra mile, everything that makes them such a wonderful, valued volunteer for you and your organisation. We do have a couple of qualification criteria for nominations. The first is we ask that they have been volunteering for at least 1 year. The second is we don't do nominations for trustees or people in governing positions. It's operational and service delivery volunteers. But whether that's those involved in frontline caregiving roles or back of house admin, IT support, people doing amazing things in fundraising, whatever it might be, it's entirely up to you as to who you want to put forward. In those nominations, just make sure you give enough detail about what their role has been, how long they've been doing it for, and the impact they have had on your organisation and the people and places that you help. Now you can either spread those nominations out over the course of the year and just send them in whenever you have time, or if you would like to use Room to Reward to create or enhance your volunteer celebrations, maybe during Volunteers Week or around Christmas time, or whenever you would like to have those celebrations of everything that your volunteers do and you want to use Room to Reward to support that, then you're absolutely welcome to do that and submit all your nominations at the same time for the same event. It's entirely up to you as to which way works best. The usual turnaround time from nominations being submitted to being processed and approved is a maximum of 2 weeks. If you have a specific date that you need everything organised by, just send us an email, let us know, and those nominations will be flagged to make sure that they are processed all in good time. The only time of year we have a deadline for nomination submissions is for Volunteers Week, purely because of the number of nominations we get for that specific week. We ask that all Volunteers Week celebration nominations are submitted midway through May so that we have plenty of time to read through and process them all. Once those nominations come in, we get together as a team here at Room to Reward and sit and read them a couple of times a week. Now, a key thing I really want to emphasise is Room to Reward is a thank you. It's not a prize. There's no lucky dip or prize draw element to the approval process. The nominations aren't judged against each other. There's no sense of competition. We don't say yes to some and no to others or anything like that. Every nomination that meets the criteria I laid out previously will be approved by us. And if we need more information, we'll always come back and ask specific questions to get the information we need. So, once the nomination has been approved, you or whoever made the nomination will be sent an email with a link to a certificate for you to present to the volunteer whenever you want to share the good news with them. It will have a booking guide which just explains to them the steps they now need to take to get their break booked in, and it will also have their booking link. All of that is sent to whoever submitted the nomination and is there for you to hold on to and pass on to the volunteer at the right time. We only have direct contact with the volunteers themselves once they actually submit a booking request. It is really important that the right links are passed to the right volunteers, as the booking request will pull the volunteer's name from the linked nomination. Once they click that booking link, it will load up our platform, which just shows all of the hotels that are currently available. It looks similar to Booking.com or Expedia or those sorts of multi-property booking sites, and they can narrow the search results by region and hotel type. In each hotel's profile, there's a couple of pictures, there's a description, there's accessibility information where we've been able to source that, and it will also say when they can and when they can't offer a break. That's really the most important thing for the volunteers to note. Because our breaks are based on anticipated unsold rooms, each hotel, when they sign up, will block out their busiest times of year, whether that's weekends for some or summer months for others, or the business ones who are much busier Monday through to Thursday, so might block out some midweek nights. It's made very clear in each hotel's profile what their availability is, and one of the great things about the number of hotels we have on board now is invariably there's a hotel that can do every request. For every hotel we have that can't offer weekend breaks, there's other ones that only offer weekend breaks. So it's worth the volunteer just making sure that they take note of what those booking restrictions are for each property. The other thing to note is that it is a live platform which all nominated volunteers have access to via their own unique booking link. Once a hotel receives a request, they are hidden from the platform for some time. So if a volunteer has somewhere particular in mind, we encourage them to submit a booking request sooner rather than later in case someone else chooses it and the hotel disappears. Once a volunteer has chosen the hotel they'd like to go to, we ask them to put in 3 potential dates for their break. That booking request will go directly to our contact at the hotel, and the team at Room to Reward will also see that that booking request has been submitted. It is important that all booking requests are made either through the link that the volunteers are sent, or if people are struggling to use that system for any reason, they're obviously welcome to get in touch with us and we can submit it on their behalf. But it is important that the request is sent either through the link or through the Room to Reward team, so the hotel know what they're dealing with and so that it goes to the right person. From there, 99% of the time, one of those dates will work fine and the hotel will respond and book the volunteer in and send them over their booking confirmation. The reason we want to see that booking request go in is firstly, if the volunteer is stuck waiting for a reply, then we can step in and chase the hotel up on their behalf. Or if for whatever reason the hotel can't do it, and obviously Room to Reward breaks are always subject to availability, then we can again step in and either suggest an alternative hotel in the area, or try different dates, or do whatever is needed to get that booking across the line. But like I say, 99% of the time, one of those dates will work fine and the hotel will book them in. So finally, the breaks themselves. They are for 1 or 2 nights. There's a handful of hotels on the system that can only offer a 1-night break, but the vast majority of them will offer 2. It's for the nominated volunteer and a +1, so they can take their partner or a friend with them, and they are on a bed and breakfast basis. Now there are some slight exceptions to that, so we have a number of holiday parks and holiday homes which are obviously self-catering, but they're also much more amenable to family breaks. So if people want to go away in groups of 4, we would encourage them to look at those options because it's much easier to make that happen in those sorts of properties than it is in a hotel. Anything different to 2 nights for 2 people on a bed and breakfast basis, it will say in the property's profile on our booking system what their offer is. Once the booking is made, it's the same as any other reservation and they are free to go and enjoy a couple of nights away. We very much look at Room to Reward as an opportunity for volunteers to take some time back for themselves, having given up so much of their time through their volunteering. And these breaks are here for people to use in whatever way suits them best. So hopefully you're still with me. Thank you very much for your time and giving me the opportunity just to cover a few different elements of how Room to Reward works. You can now register your organisation with us using the form below, and in the additional notes section, if you could just give a quick overview of your organisation's purpose and a rough number of how many volunteers you have, we can then get on with setting you up as a partner on the system. Within the next week or so, you will receive a welcome pack which covers everything I've said in this video about Room to Reward and will also include your nomination allowance info, the link of where to submit your nominations and the login details you need in order to do that. If you have any further questions or need anything else from us, please do get in contact with me. My email address is below, or if you would like a more detailed discussion, please book a meeting time using the link below. Thank you very much again, and we look forward to welcoming you to the Room to Reward journey.
Room to Reward has been a fantastic way for the Dorset Children's Foundation to show our appreciation for our volunteers and everything they do for us. The nomination process is simple and straightforward and is often a great reminder of just how wonderful our volunteers are. The choice of hotels is just amazing. Our volunteers have been able to enjoy breaks and experiences that ordinarily they just wouldn't have the chance to do. It's wonderful to see their faces when they come back after the break and hear all about it. A couple of nights away in a luxury hotel has obvious physical and mental health benefits. Our volunteers give so much to us in terms of their time, dedication and commitment. And a Room to Reward break is just a perfect way to give them a little bit of that time back. It's more than those obvious benefits though. The sense of appreciation and recognition ripples right across the charity. Having such a significant volunteer recognition system in place emphasises to all our volunteer teams just how much we appreciate them and everything they do. And of course, the fact that it's ongoing, continuing partnership means we can recognise more and more of them over time. There's no hidden costs or catches. The Room to Reward team have been fantastic to partner with, and we are just hugely grateful for the opportunities these breaks have given our volunteers.